I mean, what else was there?
I mean,
pro wrestling, Manny.
I mean,
pro wrestling.
You could have had Sammy hiding behind a truck.
Like pro wrestling.
Guess who's back?
That was a blurry image.
That.
I'm not downloading a 1080p version of SmackDown just to take a screen grab. Just not happening.
And then you could also had a picture of the return in Rio. You could have did that.
You could have did Charlotte and Ronda doing a pull apart, or
you could. We will talk about
it.
We would talk about this when we get to us, because I feel like if I look up table matches, I think Sheamus has the most table matches in WWE history. Because
I think he has the most wins.
Well, he beat John Cena, and he beat
John Cena by accident.
He knew John Cena's weakness: table matches.
Yep, we could have went with this one. This brawl that the bloodline said, "Fuck it."
Yeah, we ain't talking.
we ain't talking. I'm gonna put the titles on our shoulder. And I won the fight. Roman was full of hell.
Yeah. And then the sad part about it, I look at I know Drew is trying to position himself against Roman, but I was like, I'd rather have Randy. But whatever.
Which crew you rolling with? If you had to pick up, it's like this is a bar fight. Which crew you rolling with?
Marcus, you don't know this answer. Although they're wearing all red, Marcus, I'm rolling with the bloodline.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I know your affiliations in this gangster nation.
I was like, I don't know Marcus.
I don't know. I know there's a weak link in the bloodline, and he goes by the name Jimmy.
The bitch. But they can fix that link with Solo. But Solo got to win first. He got to win gold first before he gets upgraded. That's what happens. Because I feel like Drew, Randy, and Matt, they were dressed for wrestling. The bloodline was dressed for the confrontation, as we were promised. It was supposed to be a confrontation.
Okay, so the final question I have for you is what happened at the end of this. Better thighs, Randy Orton or Drew McIntyre? Who has the most muscular, or who has the better thigh, or in general, who's the thickest?
I was quite confused about Matt Riddle's assessment, because maybe you have to see Randy's thighs in person, but I thought Drew's thighs were more.
Well, look at this muscular picture. I think it's Drew's thighs. Acknowledge.
Drew is flexing his thighs in his punches as Randy's jiggle.
But if you see the front planted thigh of Randy, it does look pretty muscular right there. So I'm not 100% sure. I think it's one of those things that you have to see in person. But for the first time,
I couldn't acknowledge. I think I disagreed. I was like, I think Drew got him.
No, that was the worst thing that ever happened. Is that when Matt said we need to acknowledge that Randy has the most muscular thighs, and then I looked at the thighs. I was like, "Why am I looking at this man's thighs? I don't care."
The thighs.
But then I was like, "I think he's wrong."
Yeah, and yet we bring it up on the show, and we're talking about it.
Manny, you didn't answer. Better thighs.
It's Drew.
You're just picking him because he's from the United Kingdom.
No. The only thing Randy got going with his thigh is that it's super tanned.
Not as super tanned as Mandy. Yeah. Murder.
I believe she goes by the name Tina Turner right now.
or the lady in orange.
Yeah, that's the worst part about the tan for Mandy Rose. The bad tan, the one that she was almost murdered in, didn't look as bad as the tan that she had when she was defending her title and she looked like Tina Turner.
But I still feel like that JJ and Gigi got it worse though, because I've had to walk over hot concrete without shoes on, man. The cameraman who filmed all this, they could have told him, "Hey, your shoes got stolen." They could have told him.
For the record, I feel like the cameraman had a good day this day. What am I doing today? What am I doing today? Yeah.
We're filming Toxic Attraction at the beach for no good reason in swimsuits. Okay, we can do this.
Playing in the water, and we need slow motion GG ass shots as they run into the water. Yes, I have a good day today. God, I'm blessed to me. Oh, Phil, you're not going. What? Oh. Yeah, there it is.
I hate you guys.
He just hates
You
the
guys,
other.
he's the one that did it. I didn't have nothing to do with this.
Maddie, first of all, once again, you look like Hector from.
I always look like Hector. I can't prevent this.
And then, but then you got the people eyebrow going, and then Marcus, you look like you smell something bad.
Yeah, I told you, it's just random images. Actually,
Marcus,
that's a
Marcus
photo.
looks like he's trying to be Tyrese so bad when he's on
Yeah.
his body.
That's my actual physique. Although I probably should, at this point, I should reverse the roles because Eric does not look like Keith Lee.
But Marcus, I would rather be Keith Lee to be any place anywhere near Swerve Scott.
I'd rather be Swerve Scott than Keith Lee, you penis.
We know.
You're a plastic penis standing there, look like you're a plastic penis, look like you're ready to eat a cheeseburger.
Anyway, welcome to the Sharpshooters Podcast, not a new media organization. I'm Eric.
What?
I'll explain.
Acknowledge Lord Manny Hayes.
And I am Marcus, the grand finale, who ain't got time for these shenanigans. I was the one that attacked Dave Chappelle, and I will sue him and Busta Rhymes and everybody else.
Nah, man. Yeah, he was at my job. That dude, you just don't buy a ticket to get your ass kicked. I don't understand that concept.
Well, he may get the money. He may get the bag.
Why?
Because they beat the shit out of him after he
exactly.
He had no position.
No, Marcus,
he deserved it, and I understand, but I feel like he's gonna sue and he's gonna win.
He won't, Marcus. He will not win. That's the first rule of the game. It's like you don't if you looked at the the Memphis game when the security guard was waiting for that woman to jump in the court, he knew she was coming and he couldn't wait to tackle her ass. This is what security guards wait for. They wait for somebody to do something stupid because that's the one time they get to be top flight. And guess what? You never cross the line when you whoop their ass. You just don't.
But if you do, get on stage and you tackle a guy and they start whooping your ass, I think in the back, if Busta Rhymes is getting his shit in, I think I got money coming my way.
Nah, man. You get what you asked for.
Like, why was Busta on me? That would be the thing.
Because
why does Busta Rhymes got me in an arm bar?
Marcus, your ass should never been back. You should never been back there to get that close to Busta. You had no business being on stage.
Got you all in check. I got your
Busta said, "Give me some more."
Yeah, he over there. Busta over there like doing Shayna Baszler step on the wrist. I'm like, wait a minute.
You mean the Future Endeavor?
Yeah, the Future Endeavor orb breaker. And also I feel like that's where that guy's gonna end up getting money for this. No, I agree with the ass whooping. I would well pay them to whoop somebody's ass if they tackle me. But I'm just saying. That dude go get some money out of this. This is bullshit.
He ain't getting shit. He ain't gonna get a jack thing. Because if anybody that would be sued, it would be the venue for allowing that guy to get on stage. If Dave Chappelle sued the venue, trust me, Marcus, that guy ain't
Everybody getting sued. Everybody getting sued.
It seems like the thing I want to talk about first is that I am trying to understand as people keep talking about, because I've been on Twitter this week, I've been on Facebook, and people want to continue to talk about the fact that AEW and New Japan, their show sold out and things of that nature. And I don't understand. No, I'm not hating. I don't understand why this is a big deal. I think it's we can acknowledge that AEW has a very strong fan base. So it should be no surprise that this show sold out. What, Manny, I'll go to you first. Why are the AEW loyalists hyping this moment up? Like, why?
It's not like WrestleMania, because WrestleMania sells itself, even though it struggled to sell this year. But
it still got those people. It got those people.
Yeah, but it's AEW New Japan that haven't even announced any type of match going into it. This is purely been bought on hype and the love of wrestling. That's why it's kind of a big deal.
But I would do a dick move and not give him nobody. I give Ishii, I give him Suzuki, and I give him people they already got and say sucker.
I mean, but that's a strong possibility what can happen because it's not being promoted. Because let's just say this, Manny. You may not know this, but Marcus and I, we fell sucker to the merger between a New Japan and a Ring of Honor show. We went to that show, had a great time in an obscure place of Las Vegas watching that show, where Marcus high-fived the man who was asking for his release,
Oh, here we go.
Roderick Strong, because that was the only shirt he could fit.
Why do you bring that up and not bring up the fact that Ryan is still wearing them boys' shirt from that show?
Or that we watched Red Titus and Kitty King lose at some gambling game. That was really,
Poker.
yeah, that Red had to come and get Kitty. It's time to go, and Kitty wasn't ready to go.
Or that we, at the end of the show, we all decided to go to McDonald's, including the wrestlers, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks at the game. And I was like, man, Kenny eat like shit.
Yeah, yeah.
He eat this.
That's probably why he hurt now. Back in 2000 and something, eating
Well,
McDonald's.
he looked beat up after his match, which he put on, they put on a hell of a match. But he looked beat up, and he went to McDonald's, and looked like, damn, I got to go fly to Japan, probably.
But, Marcus, I mean, could you argue that Chicago is the #1 wrestling town in America? It's even Chicago and New York, correct?
Yeah, that's the core. That's where
I'm Philly.
the hardcore wrestling fans are. And you know what? It is I'm not shocked that it's sold out or it's doing well.
It's done. It's sold out. It's sold out.
You still got the
scalper tickets. I
saw
saw
party who bought a bunch and they jacked up the prices.
No, the true haters are claiming that the only reason why it's sold out is because scalpers bought tickets. But
yeah, but I
think that's always the case.
Yeah, but I think people really want to go to the show. I think it's one of the hottest tickets to go to because it's so. I think having an unknown show can generate more buzz in the loyal wrestling community than knowing what the card is going to be because you're going to hype it up for yourself.
But, not to throw shade at AEW at all. I'm not. I'm going to give them their flowers right here. Eric, we bought tickets for Double or Nothing without knowing a card. There was no match announced when we bought our tickets. Also, the Forum show in Los Angeles basically sold out without anything being announced. And this is well months in advance. So they are doing well with the fan base that they have.
Yeah.
And they are a hot ticket right now. And this is something that they should be proud about. They have, and the New Japan show is a show that it probably will be must watch for the base, as they call it, as the people put them out there. And I think it's gonna be a hell of a show, especially if they get probably the best wrestler in the world, Kazuchika Okada, in America to wrestle.
So you're saying for the base, so you don't think it's gonna do anything to move the needle for the casual fan, like just hearing the
Well, the casual fan has nothing to do with wrestling anymore. I'll tell you that right now. The casual fan is gone for wrestling. For the most part.
That's where I work at. Because
there's some people I understand, but like unless it's a big event, unless it's the Mania or some old names that the casuals hear, that's the only way they come in. The hardcore fan base is kind of like, oh, okay, and then every now and then you hear someone say, "You watching that AEW though?"
Well, so Marcus, now since people at my job know that I watch wrestling, they'll tell me, "Hey, WWE's going to come into town. I'm about to go to a show. I haven't been to a show." Like it's the circus in so many ways. It's like they don't need to watch every day, but they enjoy it. And the UK tour looked like it did really well.
It hasn't sold any tickets yet. It's only where you could
pre-register.
Well, I'm sorry. I guess I'm referring to the European tour that they just got off of, where it looked like they had a good gate with that one. It looks like that did pretty good. Because,
but like it would always go good if they only turn up every 2 years, twice a year. That's
also true.
Yeah, the European tour is always going to do well because they don't see them. Whereas like in America, you can skip a show.
And Impact even did well. Impact used to do well when they went to the UK. So, can we say the wrestling base is alive?
Yeah, good morning, evening. As always, fuck the Hulk Hogan. Shout out to Earl at his retirement and acknowledge the best football team in North and Central America, your Seattle Sounders.
Yeah, fucking Man United are losing 4-0 right now.
Manny, I forgot something because I didn't download this gambling act. I was going to ask you about soccer, but I need to stop.
Do you really need to gamble in soccer? Do you really need to go that route? Gamble local. Gamble hockey first.
Man, I was watching shit that I didn't want to watch last night, and I was like, damn, fucking Jalen Brunson, how dare he have a good game? With that being said,
you're gonna go down a dark path of watching random things, and you're not gonna like it. And you gotta have money on it, and be pissed off and not know why you lost. What do you mean I lost?
So, you know, WWE last week released a lot of talent, but this week we had contracts that expired. Candice LeRae is no longer under WWE umbrella anymore. Then we also find out that Stu Grayson in AEW is no longer, his contract expired, and then Willie Mack from Impact expired. So we have all these people who are flooding the free agent market in professional wrestling. And for me personally, I think Candice LeRae would be a bigger pickup than Johnny Gargano, but that's just me.
You forgot one.
Who?
Mr. Jonah, your boy Bronson Reed.
He was released again.
He wasn't released. His contract, he's done with Impact.
Wait, shit. How long was his contract? What, for 3 months?
He's working everywhere. He's in the branch of wrestlers that are on every wrestling show. If you watch ETE every Wednesday, you hear us talking about all these other wrestlers who work everywhere. Your TJPs, your Jonah Rock, all these guys that are just on every single wrestling show. You like, damn, y'all need to stop working.
So, do you like the mercenary type wrestler, Marcus, that just shows up, or do you prefer someone that's like loyal to the Fed?
I'm more of a TV show kind of wrestling guy. I wish everybody had their cast.
Okay.
Because it just seems like you just gotta follow. It's basically every show. AEW is like the Bible at this point with how many characters they have. That's their point, or the Lord of the Rings, of which like, oh, they have all this. Okay, it's a lot of people. And who's this guy? Gimli of Troy. Okay, he's wrestling tonight.
And what superpower does he possess?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, the downfall of AEW, you have all these characters, but you get absolutely no backstory of who they are. They just show up, and the crowd goes crazy because they're there.
But I do find it interesting that on other shows, these people get backstories, but when you show up on Dynamite, no one gets a backstory, kind of. That's the one show, if you watch everything, that what I'm noticing, if you watch NWA or the announcers would tell you this person's backstory and their life. And AEW is like, you better know who this is.
No, AEW. So Marcus, I disagree with you. The announcers try to tell you what's going on with the person who's in the ring, but
I don't like them.
Excalibur tried to sell you, and I don't listen to Excalibur that much.
No. So, Manny, I'm gonna go back because we got all these free agents and stuff like that, and they announced, which I think is really stupid, in my opinion, personally. As we know, we're having the Owen Hart tournament, and the brackets are field, but guess what happens? Another surprise. There's a Joker. There's 2 Jokers, and I'm like, God damn it! Can we stop with the surprises? Like, dude, can we just I get, because it's a point where you run out of surprises, correct? Like, you just can't surprise me no more.
I feel bad for. So, did you see Stu Grayson's tweet about his contract coming up ending?
Yes,
where he then threw shade at AEW because he would essentially going, hopefully one day AEW will realize how talented the Dark Order are.
No,
it's a sign of like a lot of the many of the AEW originals whose contracts are coming up to an end now. You're gonna start seeing go because there's no room for them anymore, and they realize that.
And AEW has outgrew those people. Bye. That's kind of my reaction. Stu Grayson, bye. Joey Janela, bye. I don't know who else is that just Marco Stunt, bye. I would give up all these people for some of the guys they have. If we had to list the people of AEW total poll, or if I had to fight the locker room, I would rather fight the locker room I fought before than the locker room that I have to fight now.
Marcus, in translation, what you just said is that I'll give up everybody who was on an AEW roster who whooped NXT's ass for everybody in NXT that AEW whooped. That's what they just did.
I love me some NXT.
That is literally what happened. Is that
you're also a Swerve loyalist.
You had the foundation, of what AEW was, like the Dark Order, all the bullshit that was going on. The Joey Janela's, no matter how many times they drug his ass out on TV, AEW would still be NXT.
He got that TNT title shot, man.
Then guess what happened? NXT started letting people go. They moved to Tuesday night, and now NXT is just on Dynamite. It's a sick irony. And the sad part about it is that, like, when you see the wrestlers who are released from WWE or NXT, it's like, well, I know they're going to find a job at Impact and at AEW. But when you see the people that are being released from AEW, I don't know if they're going to find a job at Impact or WWE. I just don't think there's a spot for Stu Grayson anyway. Just say it.
Just by himself?
Nah. Yeah, just by himself.
And you know, I was in an argument with somebody on the internet, or not an argument. It was barely like 2 sentences. I didn't keep the thread hot. And the guy was like, Stu Grayson, they letting all their good wrestlers go. I was like, good. What? Yeah, and I went, good.
Isn't him and Uno? Hasn't him and Uno been like a package deal for like 5, 6 years or whatever?
Smash Brothers and stuff. And I'm like, I don't really need Stu Grayson.
I
wouldn't need him.
I was kind of confused though, because I thought they came in as a tag team on that first night, and how come Uno's contract is not expiring with Grayson's? Because I probably would
Grayson wanted the same thing.
Uno probably like said yes to less money and just stayed.
Maybe because he knows,
or doing that Peter Avalon shit, and he's working week to week.
So
I kind of want people to get re-signed after their contract expires, and they say Stu Grayson is All Elite again. Is that what you do, or do you?
Sonny Kiss is All Elite.
Like, what happened? They weren't anymore. No, they lost their money.
So
they lost it.
I am going to do something that I don't really do a lot. I'm going to give AEW credit this week. They tried to tell stories. They didn't do a good job at telling stories, but they are trying to tell stories. And before we get there, we'll jump into Rampage right now. Might as well talk about Rampage. The Rampage started off with Dr. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter going against Toni Storm and Ruby Soho. Quite frankly, this match could have been worse, but it was actually a solid opening match between the competitors in this match. Marcus, has Jamie Hayter got better? She has not bought new tights, but has she gotten better in the ring? Marcus, did we lose you?
I guess I lost you guys, or we lost each other.
Did you answer the question, sir?
Huh?
Like,
what's Rampage? I already told you.
Oh, Manny. Oh, I got confused.
I told you. I am doing my taxes doing this segment or something.
Okay, go ahead.
Manny,
I'm sorry. Then I have 2 questions. Has Jamie Hayter gotten better, Manny? And do you like the slimmer Toni Storm? Because I don't know. Something doesn't feel right to me.
Something doesn't feel right about it. Much like how you look slimmer and look like Walter. It just doesn't feel right. Even though we appreciate that you're healthy.
Black Gunther shall rise. Does that mean I'm does that mean I'm
Ludwig?
I'm Ludwig, and Manny is Eichner?
I'm Eichner.
But you know, we didn't just give you up. I don't know. Manny's in the best.
I mean, on Fridays I do other things, and on Wednesdays you do other things. So technically, we are like AEW wrestlers where we work other places.
Yeah, you guys are mercenaries or mercenaries. But I was shocked to see Toni Storm. I mean, Britt Baker took the pin in this match. I was like, okay, are we going back to?
It was weird for her to take the pin.
Yeah, because are we going back to the dissension between Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, where they teased that a couple of times on Dynamite, but then it never went anywhere and they became friends again? I'm confused.
Just get it over and done with.
Well, it's AEW storytelling in which, okay, we have a storyline going. Oh, these people haven't been on in like a month. Let's continue the storyline. A la Julia Hart in her eye.
I won't talk about that. That would piss me off because I was like, clearly she was fed up with them. Like, especially Brian Pillman Jr.
Just sitting on the steps.
And I was like, and then I get this whole segment of Brian talking about him and Jim Harbaugh. And I'm like, Jim Harbaugh's not a catch. I don't care who he is. Wait, that was John Harbaugh. Sorry. I'm like, I don't care.
Jim Harbaugh's a catch.
I don't care if you in Baltimore. I don't give a damn if this is your father's friend. I was fed up like Julia Hart. And then I was like, and she couldn't hit the dude with the chair. But true, he wasn't one doing all the talking. So maybe that's why she didn't want to do it. But then, like, Malachi got abusive. Like he put hands on a woman. You can't do that.
Well, if you watch Triple A, you can.
Yeah.
But let's stay on track with Rampage.
Marcus,
That was Dynamite. That was Dynamite.
Let me ask you a question though, Marcus, because I know you haven't watched Rampage. But what if I told you missed one of the most bizarre storytelling segments of all time? We go to the commentating table, Marcus, and you got the man with the mask. You have Chris Jericho, you have Ricky Starks, and you have Tony Schiavone, Marcus. And for the first time ever on Rampage, Marcus, they took a phone call. They had a phone call for Chris Jericho, Marcus. Eddie Kingston called into the announce team desk.
Oh, see, I love that. If you watch Monday Night Raw from 1990, I believe 8 is where Raw Retro is taking place. Steve Austin would call in from jail. Multiple occurrence, or Michael Cole would call in. How was this phone call staticky or it had good reception?
No, Marcus,
no,
the phone call
had kind of bad reception.
Yeah, but I don't remember much. But I remember Eddie Kingston was just talking about how great his wife was and taking care of him. Manny, what was that phone call about? And then Jericho was so taken aback, like, "What the fuck are you doing calling me on?" Like it was like
Jericho was on there like trying to laugh at what he did, and then like his wife having to look after him and stuff like that. But like then it got weird. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna beat you up for my wife and everything. And then Jericho's like, okay, but why the fuck are you calling me on there?
Why are you calling me on a tape show?
The announce team has some problems.
This week.
No, Mark, the announce team has some problems because later in the night, Jungle Boy comes out getting all fresh with Ricky Starks, and they get into a scuffle. But my favorite part
doesn't that mean something else?
What?
Getting fresh.
No,
isn't that an old term for being handsy? Like a woman.
My favorite part though is that
he was getting fresh.
Jungle Boy got fresh with the FTW title. You just said, take your hands off of that title. That's not your title.
He's using fresh wrong. I think he's using fresh.
Mark, it don't matter. And Mark, what if I told you that next week you're getting Tony Nese against the undefeated Danhausen?
Yeah, I can't get over the term using fresh. As if this was a man and a woman on a date in 1990 where she had to choose if she wanted to make out with him or she had to walk. That's what that's what fresh is. That's my definition of fresh.
So then Hook makes short work of JD Drake. Hook makes short work of JD Drake, and then leads to an altercation where Danhausen comes to the ring and he requests to be in the tag team with Hook. Hook Danhausen. Manny, I still don't get Danhausen. I still don't understand it. However, AEW seems to be rolling with it because it gets a huge reaction from the AEW audience. Do you understand it yet?
They love the meme. I don't understand the meme of Danhausen. But Danhausen gives him a present of chips, and that's it.
Yeah, it was very.
It had a bow on it, Marcus, too.
It had a bow.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Hot Cheetos? If it ain't hot Cheetos, you ain't gave me shit. If it ain't the flaming hot or anything, if it ain't flaming hot Ruffles, it ain't flaming hot Doritos or flaming hot Cheetos, we ain't talking. Or maybe if they were chili cheese Fritos, that's the only way I'm fucking with you. But if you give me some stale ass Lays, I'll fight you.
Then we had the random return, the unannounced return of Rio and Yuka Sakazaki.
The Magic Girl.
The Magic Girl. She's back.
The Magic Girl, and apparently this
must be digging people up.
This must have been the Japanese bracket for the Owen Hart qualification because it makes no sense why they were in this match. And I was happy to see the Magic Girl because I like the Magic Girl better than Rio, but she lost.
The Magic Girl's cute.
Rio has one match a year, or I don't think Rio has won a match all year. I guess she won this one.
I like the funny thing about this one was she came out dressed in black instead of all white, and on the commentary they were suggesting that she may have turned evil.
Yeah. So
I can imagine it's Rio the darker side of Rio.
That finalized the brackets for the Owen Hart women's bracket. You have a Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker versus the Joker, Rio versus Ruby Soho, and Red Velvet straight out your mama's kitchen against Sheeta. I mean, I don't know.
What do you win if you win this tournament on either male or female side?
You just win the first Owen Hart tournament, I guess. No one has really announced what you get from it. It's a tournament.
A certificate.
Yeah, you might get it. Then Then Marcus, Sean Spears announced that he's coming for War Pig, and he showed a chair with Giant.
He called him Wardlow. He used his real name this time.
Yeah, he called him Warlow, but then he had a chair with Giant Killer on there. I don't know who the Giant Killer is. I don't think it's Sean Spears, but I'm assuming someone else is going to be making a debut to fight Wardlow.
Satnam Singh.
Well, clearly, Manny doesn't care about the segment, but I actually thought the Wardlow segment on Dynamite was handled well. At the same time, I'm not really sure with Big Cass being used as just a paperweight, because now he's dead weight in AEW because he got destroyed by Wardlow. But he only took one power bomb. Some people took 8 power bombs to lose. But who am I to judge? He got a week back.
No, but aren't you tired of this? Is now the 3rd time MJF has conditions in order to get to him.
This is the MJF format of how you have matches with MJF and how they keep him out of the title picture. It makes absolutely no sense that you got to do all this stuff. I quite frankly don't understand why Tony Khan allows it. If Wardlow is not an employee of my company, I should not be featured on my TV show. But whatever, who am I? It seems like it's a liability for your contracted wrestlers. But the crowd seems to really like Wardlow, and I will say that he's one of the characters that he seems like, to me, he's getting that Darby Allin push that Darby Allin had when he was like the face of AEW, and like you just saw Darby Allin week in and week out. So I just hope that Wardlow don't get written with Sting, and next thing you know, he fades away, and then they're pushing somebody else.
Let me jump in right here, brother. Go
ahead.
Wardlow. Nice reaction. I like what they're doing with him. I like that he beat security guards, coming handcuffed, getting the Goldberg treatment. I guess he's gonna beat MJF or whatever situation he's gonna have. But when I ask you this, on their roster, you giving Wardlow that title right now, or how long is it gonna take for him to get that title?
I don't think
I feel like they're gonna wait too long in their long-term storytelling to give him a title shot and a title. He's just gonna kind of be there.
Haven't they? I ask you to answer your question with a question. Haven't they waited too long with MJF already as well?
They've done that. Darby Allin's kind of, not doing anything. I feel like it's just, they get hot on for a minute, and then it's like, I'm kind of done with this.
Well, I think unfortunately, the problem that AEW has ran into, and they don't realize that there's a problem, but it's the problem that WWE has when you only have your top guys who are going to go for the titles. Like when it was the era of Stu Grayson and the those performers, before Black and Gold took over, it was like, yeah, you have these people in their title shot, but arguably, if you're trying to create a more a bump in your ratings, I don't know if Wardlow or MJF are names that are big enough to do it compared to when you have a CM Punk on your roster, when you have a Bryan Danielson on your roster. Like the fact that we all know that Hangman was a lame duck champion. And I know many people make excuses for the Hangman, like, oh, he needed Omega to feud and whatnot. But this was like probably the first time he showed some personality on this week's episode of Dynamite. And I feel like it's a little bit too late. I think his title run was worse than Big E's title run. And I'm not being biased. I just really think that he brings me nothing as a champion. And when you talk about AEW as a whole, he's probably like the 5th or 6th thing that you will mention when you mention AEW. So I think it's time for a new champion, and I think CM Punk might be that new champion.
Okay. You followed up with who you thought was going to win,
However, a champion that I can have respect for, Marcus, and I hate that you missed this, was the segment with Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and Dan Lambert. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like there's dissension in that group, and Scorpio Sky is kind of turning face, and he cut a promo, and he let Frankie Kazarian next week. They're going to fight for the TNT title, and then he also finally did something that needed to be done. He told Dan Lambert to keep that second belt at American Top Team and stop wearing that shit. I enjoyed this segment. Manny, what did you think about this segment?
It was a good segment, but I just hate the fact that it referenced Sammy in it as well. It brought it down a little bit. Like, he didn't come out or anything, but like just the sheer mention of Sammy and Tay Conti, it just brought it down a little bit. But yeah, Yeah, I enjoyed the fact that there's going to be slight dissension. You don't know if they're playing it off because they want to lure Kazarian into a false sense of security or everything, that he's being his friend because they've got the SCU connection or whatever. But yeah, it was a really good segment, and it started off with a little bit of hate from Dan Lambert, which if I'm Tony Khan, if I can see a man visibly hating the fact that he's had to come to AEW and stand in an AEW ring every week, why am I paying him to appear there?
That's the thing that always confused me about AEW. Is like they do things that just don't make sense. Like Dan Lambert, why does he show up? Wardlow, why is he showing up? He's not employed to you. He's employed to MJF. Like, stop it. Like you are Tony Khan. You write the checks. Put people like Stu Grayson, who was employed. He could have been wrestling instead of Wardlow there because he's contracted to you. But who am I to tell Tony Khan how to run his business?
Can I say that I didn't watch the segment, but when you bring up dissension in a faction, don't we have like 4 of those already?
Yeah, we
have
also mentioned
the Britt Baker. The DMDs are feuding with each other, kind of. The best friends with Trent, and I guess William Uta's out, so I guess that's resolved. So we have the Varsity Blondes with Julia Hart maybe trying to kill her team.
Who's only 20 years old, by God.
My God. That's why with Buddy. That's Buddy's age. That's his type. That's what I like.
But I thought Buddy was dating somebody else. Buddy,
Rhea Ripley.
But yeah, he done got him another WWE woman.
But she's 25. She's 25.
Yeah.
That's same age, same bracket.
Buddy know what he like. He Jerry Lawler. He Jerry Lawler. Yeah, that's who he is.
I see Jerry Lawler.
I mean, shit. That's what it is. So the main event for Rampage is it was another Ring of Honor main event. You had Jay Lethal with Sanjay Dutt and the big dude at ringside going against Konosuke.
Give him his name.
Konosuke Takeshita. I don't know this guy. They didn't do a really good job explaining who this guy was to me, but you know, it was a match. It happened. It took place. The guy looks like he could be interesting, but
I gotta reveal that.
The thing is, it's like this. It don't do anything for AEW, in my opinion. I don't know, Manny. Do you have a different opinion?
I mean, AEW, Ring of Honor are basically the same thing now, aren't they? It's just It's basically like WWE and NXT fall under the same umbrella. So I guess we're just gonna have to get used to it. Till they have their own show again, I guess we just gotta get used to it.
I mean, I think the thing about it is just that Ring of Honor continues the main event Dynamite, and I'm like, okay. And it's like,
well, this week's Dynamite's main event, this shouldn't have happened.
That should have been a main event.
That shouldn't have been the main event. That was just a random title match that had no backstory within the Dynamite universe at all.
Well, no, I just think
these times together. It was like, okay, and then the way it ended, it was just like, oh, I feel like.
And then Joe came out with a pipe.
Yeah, it's like just my whole thing about it is just that it's the typical AEW management or the brass taking advantage of what their audience is being extremely smart, because like I don't know who these people are. I know who Jay Lethal is, but I don't know who this other guy is. He seemed really interesting. I wish they would have gave me a package or a backstory or something a little bit more to tell me.
Eric, they gave you a package, but it was a footage from him on AEW Dark, essentially from 2021.
Yeah, but what the fuck? That doesn't help me at all.
Didn't tell anything other than look at his moves.
Because like, is he a Ring of Honor super? No, he's from DDT apparently. I don't even know what DDT is, but that's what they said.
Japanese promotion.
And I was like,
secret Japanese promotion.
And then I just always say this though. Why did we fly this guy in from DDT when you got plenty of people on the roster that could job out to Jay Lethal? Just seems like a waste of money. I don't know. But with that all being said, it was actually a pretty good show. No complaints. It was good wrestling.
I said skip. I looked at the card and I went skip. Not watching this.
Yeah. He'll spend 7 hours watching all this stuff for ETE.
Yeah, but you know what? Let me tell you what that stuff has: real drama and real storytelling in the wrestling. This had nothing to do with anything. This isn't gonna affect the greater scheme of AEW. That no Rampage ever does.
And you people need to watch that show.
What?
You learn something.
Oh, ETE?
Yeah, watch ETE. You'll learn something.
You learn about AAA and that they have this dramatic mass versus mass rule, or you get 30-year-old beefs coming out to haunt you because they lost their mask 30 years ago, so they're gonna make sure you lose your mask this time around. Or you get Ultimate Dragon.
You know, quite frankly, I'm so
talk about Ultimate Dragon freely on the show.
I'm so disappointed that ET started so late because I wish you guys would have been able to cover the whole La Parka scandal when La Parkas came and just wrecked shit up. And
we did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. And well, then we got we're already at LA Park. We're at LA Park fighting for his life at Triple Mania this week to keep his mask, and he ended up winning the match, even though if the idea is to keep your mask and your mask get ripped in the match before the end of the tournament. I guess it is what it is. And you can
Marcus, this week's show's an hour, so I'm not sure you want to watch it.
I'm not. With that being said, now
Jeff Jarrett was extremely racist, and Karen Angle is still around.
Now, Marcus, I'm gonna tell you this right now, brother, because you know it's not. I know how you enjoy fame, Marcus, but Aaliyah got 15 seconds of fame before a pull apart happened on SmackDown. Marcus, did you appreciate the 15 seconds of fame that Aaliyah got from being in the ring with greatness?
I appreciate Charlotte beating the shit out of Aaliyah just because, and it was just like, oh. Charlotte came in like, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of Aaliyah, and if anybody else want to try to stop me, I'll beat the shit out of them. And just so happened, it ended up being Ronda Rousey, and she was like, I'll beat the shit out of you too, bitch. And I was like, you know what? This is a nice start to SmackDown.
So
right there.
Who had a better pull apart? Wardlow with all those security goons that he faced on Dynamite, or Charlotte and Ronda and Aaliyah and security?
Security got powerbombed, Eric. He did walked by Wardlow. Come on now.
But see, Wardlow is not employed by AEW, so Tony Khan can't do any type of sanctions to him messing up his security guards.
The only thing that happened was
MJF?
The only thing that happened was Daivari got an unnecessary boot to the face.
From Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had it coming. So I'm going to side with the Ronda Charlotte thing because this is the end. We're coming to the end of this, guys. We're coming to the end. Hopefully, it's the last pull apart they ever have. WrestleMania, Backlash is this Sunday. Hopefully, it's the end of them beefing, and this ends the storyline with her and Charlotte. But
I don't think
this is the only segment of theirs that was probably any good.
Now, Manny, I'm going to tell you because I agree with Marcus. This was the only segment that between Charlotte and Ronda that was worth a damn, and because it had the one thing that I've been saying week in and week out: don't let Ronda talk. And I think that is what made the segment palatable. Am I correct in that assessment, Manny?
Yeah, but I don't think it's over. I don't think it's over. I think it's going to continue. And if worst comes to worst, Charlotte's going to retain. And then we're going to get the Marine, the one with all the problems, the one that nobody wanted coming off the Charlotte.
I don't have Charlotte retain. I got Ronda winning.
Can I ask a question? Because, you brought this up. Do you guys think that – because I don't know. I'm confused now because I thought we were building her as a face. But then when they were like – they made Irvine say, now can we get a round of applause for the Marine? For like – it felt so heelish to make the crowd applaud for you. I don't know. I'm having weird vibes about her character. I don't know what it is, but I'm intrigued by it.
Well, you also boo when they say, you go sport events, they're like, let's give a salute to the Marines, Eric, and people who serve this country. Do you? Because that's what they do at every sporting event when they have the Army there.
I don't boo.
So, I know. I'm just saying. But you're saying that makes her a heel. No, that's just, respect.
I don't know about that, Eric. The narrative going around on Fridays is that you're a bigot.
I mean, it happens.
You don't talk to white people.
You live by a code of life, man. And I'm not a bigot, but whatever. You guys are entitled to your own narratives. Your own narrative.
Most bigots are ignorant to their bigotry.
Anyway, so we move on to before we go back to SmackDown, it was a little bit of news that came out in about WWE where the networks, Fox and USA, they want to go back to the exclusivity. They don't like this people jumping from show to show. I personally like the show jumping.
I don't.
So you like your shit exclusive?
Yeah.
Manny, explain to me why you want this to be exclusive.
If I paid for Roman Reigns, I want to keep Roman Reigns. I don't want him appearing on Raw. I don't want him appearing on USA. If I'm Fox, I'm in my right mind to go. If I'm paying, how much did they pay? 1 billion, 3 billion, whatever they paid.
But Manny, let's be real. Roman hasn't been appearing on anything. He don't show up.
Well, he was on Raw this week.
Yeah, but I
For like a
mean,
second.
like,
2 minutes.
but then he like took 2 weeks off. I mean, like it's Roman got the best schedule ever, the best.
I don't know. I honestly think Riho got him beat.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I don't think Rio is getting paid the same amount that Roman is.
I don't
You're
know.
like,
You
oh,
don't know
shit,
about that
Rio's-
Tony Khan money.
Or I don't know who got a bad contract. Maybe Pac, who could randomly just be like, I don't feel like I'm to work today. See you guys in 2 months where I can make another epic return. So there's a few people out there like that. What was the original question to this?
It's like, are you looking
Oh,
forward
do you
to
like
them going back to that exclusivity? Where,
Oh. No, I want them to unmerge these rosters and separate them and just, let's just have people with places. Let's just
The
have a
network's
wrestling show.
spoken. The
2
network's
shows.
spoken. Someone's
Fuck
dream
all
of
this.
someone's dream of a unified title may be over.
But my question is,
All right, tag team titles should be together. They should
allegedly, there was no intention for that to happen. So apparently we're supposed to get the 6-man the whole time.
I don't believe that for a second. Don't trust any of those dirt sheets. I feel like someone had something happened. Something happened because they were promoting the hell out of that, and all of a sudden it was like 6-man. I don't think you do that. I don't think you do that route unless you planned on doing it. I feel like they were committed to doing that. So fuck them if that was the original plan. Playing people with emotions like me who want to see the merging of the rosters and the tag team titles.
I just hope.
I want the Naomi Sasha treatment.
I just hope when the exclusivity happens that it doesn't stop the influx of talent showing up at NXT, because I really love when the professionals show up. I'm just telling you, man. They just like Viking Raiders ain't doing shit on the main rosters, but the Creed Boys versus the Viking Raiders, come on, man. That was a hell of a match. That was a good-ass match.
It was a good-ass match. But I will also say the Viking Raiders ain't really doing shit in NXT 2.0.
No, but
they had a good match, but are you really behind them in their Viking ways right now?
No,
I'm not. Even
but
the NXT crowd really ain't going raid, and they chant everything.
But NXT is the only place where they treat tag team wrestling with the respect that is deserved. And I love the fact that we're not even calling them the Creed brothers. We call them the Creed boys because that's what they should be called. Man, they might be the new Briscoes, the Creed boys.
No,
whatever. So Sasha and Shayna had a match that was too damn good for regular television, showing that Shayna is being wasted, being teamed up with Natty and not being given any consideration to be in the title picture. She got a win over Sasha Banks, which Sasha is known for eating pins. I mean, I knew when she came out with the head wrap, she wasn't winning the match, Marcus, but it was a good match, right?
Well, now that Sasha has embraced this, they have embraced this tag team. I really enjoyed the hell out of this segment, and I didn't think I would. I was like, oh, Shayna about to eat a pin. But when they came out and then Sasha was petty and doing her own version of joint manipulation, not as good as Shayna or anybody else, but it was Sasha's form, and then she was like, oh, I can do this shit too. And then I really enjoyed the finish. I haven't seen a finish like that, in which it was a roll-up that was too close to the rope where Natty got to stick her dirty, grimy hands in there and pull someone's leg down. I felt the injustice. I was like, that was injustice. And then they went after crippled Naomi, and then they gave her the double eat the feet move, and I was like, well done, ladies. That was a good segment and a good-ass match that had a lot of good stuff. That was pro wrestling. That's what I wanted to say at the end of that. That was what I grew up with. That is what I like to see. They told a good story. They did their shit, and they got out, and it was about something. And then at that moment, Eric, even before you said it in the pre-show, I was like, Natty's getting that MVP this week.
Yeah, Daddy was doing a little bit of
hustling.
Daddy was out there hustling.
She's teaching kids and she's trying to break arms.
She stopped from smoking 2 packs of cigarettes this week and only did 1 because she knew how much work she was putting in. Manny, what about you? Did you like this match between Sasha and Shayna?
Yeah, it was fine, but like Natty really put in work this week.
Yeah.
Too much work. There's too much Natty this week.
Hey, but you know what? When Natty's in a good light, it's all right. I mean,
No,
sometimes
the best thing Natty did this week. This throwing shade at that stupid Mets fan. I hate him. I hate him so much.
Manny, you stop.
He's still not the worst fan of the day. And I guess we were talking about that. I guess when we drip into 2.0, when that dude really wanted to fight Nathan Frazier. And if I was Nathan Frazier, I felt threatened. I would have punched that man.
You mean
in the
Mark
face
Long? Mark Long. Yeah.
I would have kicked his ass.
Why do people love this guy?
He was just on the first row routes, man. It's just like one of those, and he's like
he's a main guy at reality television.
He's a meathead, literally. Like if you watch The Worst Cooks in America, he's a fucking meathead. He's an idiot. It's. I just find it hilarious that I just found out who he was because I was watching Worst Cooks, and then I showed like this motherfucker's on NXT. What the hell is going on? Now we don't have to touch on the segment for a long time, but we will. I actually enjoyed the Madcap and Corbin segment. I know I'm probably in the minority in this situation, but I thought Madcap got some good jokes in on Baron. You know, you can't be a lone wolf without any hair. But what can you say? Manny, I know your posture tells me you didn't need this segment.
Jokes.
You didn't need this segment.
It was terrible, Eric.
I know.
I was like, and then you highlight a terrible joke, and I go, oh, I guess.
Well,
questioning what you find funny these days.
Because you got to understand, Madcap was reminding me of the good old days of my Baron Corbin when I was a big, huge fan of Baron Corbin. Right now, Happy Corbin makes me sick.
You already know how to pick him, don't you? Matt Hardy, Baron Corbin.
Fuck Matt Hardy.
Yeah,
Matt Hardy ain't shit. And I hate that he's keep holding Brother Nero back with his shenanigans. Like, the delete thing is over, Matt. Stop it. No one likes you. Everybody likes Jeff. That's it. Drew Gulak.
You sound like a kid in the playground, cussing out another kid in the playground. No one likes you. We just hang out with you because of your brother Jeff. And then next thing you know, they try to hit you.
Gunther beat up Drew Gulak. Well, that was all we need to really say about that. Had to happen.
Hold on. They reviewed his jobs. He got a video package of his current jobs, and I loved it.
Yeah, I mean,
nice little story. I was like, oh, we got story. Right? He's happy to be back in the ring, and then he got Walter to come whoop his ass.
So Marcus, they let your boy Nakamura speak English, so the storyline is back on when they had it greenlit earlier when Nakamura was going to avenge Rick Boogs and they disappeared from it. Then now they back to it, but Sammy got involved. Marcus, I'm assuming you enjoyed everything about this entire segment, from the Nakamura cutting his promo to Sammy being behind the truck to the actual match.
Well, I enjoyed the actual match more than all of it, and I enjoyed to tell the story. And according to the dirt sheets, the Nakamura and Reigns match is inevitable. It is happening. It's going to happen, and it's just something they know they have in the back pocket that they can just throw out at any given moment. And I'm going like, why don't they want to play this card? Why are they saving this card like it's the Blue Eyes White Dragon? Okay, just let it.
Nakamura said something.
That was a very
Nakamura said something that may open my eyes up to a business venture. We could open up a ramen spot and call it Ramen Reigns. Once again, my idea. Do not try and steal it, people. I may have said it on air, but do not try and steal it.
So Manny, this week we finally all our worries were put aside. During the tables match, we now know where Butch is located at. I know I was a little bit worried because I didn't know where Butch was at. Apparently, he was underneath the ring the whole time in Long Island. So
if anyone called Hornswoggle, they would have known where he was.
Yeah, I mean, they was doing lines underneath there.
I'm breaking news, man. Manny, can you Google search Ramen Reigns? Just glue it.
Does it exist?
And I'm going to say that you did not invent this.
Oh my God, it exists.
I enjoyed this table match. I could not believe that it's been 2 years since a table match has taken place on SmackDown. Clearly, Monday Night Raw is where table matches go to live.
No, I don't think WWE does table matches that often.
Really?
Anymore. No,
that could be also true.
They save all those for like TLC, the pay-per-view.
They save him off for Josh Cena to come back. Josh Cena, we're gonna put you through a table. Not again. Not again.
Yeah, you know I suck at these matches, but I thought this was a really good match. The Butch under the ring coming out and just beating the shit out of Kofi and all that. I enjoyed it. I even like the dive to the outside that broke a barricade. Haven't seen that before. Normally that's reserved for the spear, but Kofi was like, "No, we're gonna do my dive, and we're gonna go do a barricade." They had a really good match, and I'm really shocked and I'm upset that this wasn't a pay-per-view match on the Backlash show. And I'm also upset that Natty didn't make WrestleMania this year. Backlash, WrestleMania Backlash.
What about you,
Why
Manny?
is it SmackDown?
I mean, the match was really good, and I really enjoyed that Butch resurfaced.
He got
And
lost.
I think they've handled Butch really well as well.
So, Manny, I don't know how much you're into the NBA or if you know anything. Marcus, what about your boy Chuck acknowledging Roman Reigns on the TNT broadcast, which might have been the greatest thing ever because it's on TNT where AEW lives, where he only mentioned one AEW performer. That was Chris Jericho. But clearly, for him to acknowledge Roman Reigns, he's still watching WWE.
Well, Roman, he's out there in the streets, and yeah, you can't. You have to acknowledge him. I'm assuming Chuck watched WrestleMania because that'd be the one show everybody watches.
So, SmackDown ended with the confrontation between RK Mac Bro, which sounds like a bad McDonald's sandwich, with the Bloodline. Did this confrontation, Manny, do enough to promote, which I would consider a lackluster WrestleMania Backlash, that we're going to see Doctor Strange instead of watching this live?
And his multiverse of madness.
I'm not ruining my sleep for this. Yeah, it's all good. It's the typical segment to end off and the show with, isn't it?
Pretty much.
To lead into the pay-per-view. So yeah, I suppose.
But I thought it was well.
Manny, why wasn't that your cover of the show?
He didn't know it existed.
I didn't know it existed.
It's a now.
I just brought it up to him 5 minutes ago. But I thought it was a nice ending to the show. The acknowledging segment, I got good laughs out of that. Even we had a nice discussion about thighs right now. And then they had just the brawl. And Roman was like, "I'm just gonna fuck him up." And I forgot what Paul said that made me laugh. But he was yelling at the tribal chief something before as they were going out. "Handle your business," I think, or something. He said something which made me laugh in the background as they were walking to the ring. "We're gonna do this tonight."
Hey Marcus, let me tell you, man. I don't know, Marcus. I've never been in the ass kicking crew, but I think I would be so motivated if I'm going to kick somebody's ass and I hear somebody in the crowd, "Get him, Eric! Whoop that ass! Get him, Graffinelli! Put the hands on him!" It's like, you damn right.
It's
then when you go
every fight that when you around friends, if you have at least one friend, they were like, "Yeah, get his ass." And then
if there's one person I want to have to hype me up in a fight, it'd be Trick.
Yeah, he ain't gonna help though, but he gonna hype.
He won't help, but he'll hype you up.
So, WrestleMania Backlash. I don't know. For me, it felt like it's taking forever for this show to come, and the hype for it really hasn't really get. But the card is like Bobby Lashley versus Omos, Happy Corbin versus Madcap Moss, Edge versus AJ Styles with Damian Priest not at ringside, which might be the show stiller. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, which apparently, according to Jen and Mid-Card Mess, they had a hell of a good dark match after SmackDown.
These are two
Was that the
rematches.
only dark match they had?
Yeah, they only do one.
They only do one.
I don't understand why.
Two.
I don't understand why Randy, Drew, and Riddle were all ready to fight, but that was it.
Because when you hang
I know
around
Randy
with Randy,
always comes dressed.
When you hang around with Randy, you just wear your clothes. And Drew was never putting on clothes either. Like, this is like the crew that they walk around always ready to fight. If you think about it, yeah.
Have you ever seen Drew McIntyre in regular clothes at an actual wrestling event?
I've seen him in
like
jeans.
you may see him on the bump. Yeah, but those are like, it's never like in the ring. If he in the ring, he in his drawers, just like Randy. And Riddle probably wears what he has on his day off.
The Bloodline against RK Mac Bro, and then you have the I Quit match, Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey. Like, it just seems like it's gonna probably be very good matches, but I don't think it's anything that is must see, in my opinion.
Double or Nothing will be better than that. Much better than that.
Yeah, but the problem is, will we be able to survive that 8-hour show probably? Because it's gonna be a long ass show.
Maybe 5 hours.
Eric, how are you gonna talk shit in the middle of in the tribe of the AEW fans, or are you gonna be there and just because I've known our family, me, you, and Ryan, we talk shit about even everything at every show, no matter what we're doing, and just have a good time.
Well, Marcus, let me just point out something, and see, this is where you got me twisted, man. You got me twisted. I am not the one that talks shit. I am the one that joined in the shit talking. Ryan is the main shit talker. We all know Ryan is always saying some outlandish shit that then next thing you know, you piggybacking what Ryan says. And the next thing you know, I'm piggybacking what Ryan says. And then you have our little circle like, you right. Remember the one time we was at the show and someone said, man, you guys should have a podcast because you're funny. And nobody even said, well, we actually do. It's just said
me and Ryan went to SmackDown. The crew. They're like, "Oh, you guys should get a podcast." We're like, "Yeah, we have one. We do this for a living. We're good.
We do not do it for a living.
Even though Ryan isn't a part of that show, but
we do not do it for a living. This don't pay no bills. This is like Dick. It don't pay bills, man.
Dick can't pay bills.
No, it can't.
It can if people start donating to the show.
Yeah, if we don't get 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2023, I will start my own OnlyFans. And I have
Weston
to do it.
Beemore.
I hate to do it.
Weston Beemore says, I'm in Baltimore and watching the AEW this week. I realized I didn't miss anything important not going to the show. I saved my money this week.
Oh,
damn.
I mean, that's money that could go towards donating to the show.
You know, all his money goes to making fraudulent material so he can sell it on the black market. But no, I feel like that's how I'm going to feel with the LA and Ontario show. I'll be like, I'm not missing anything. I'm going to Double or Nothing. I don't need the shit in LA. I don't. Oh, Marcus, we're going to a steakhouse on Saturday. I don't know if you knew that.
Huh?
On Saturday.
What's Saturday?
The Double
you talking about you thinking ahead, man.
Yeah.
Are you doing a show next week? Because I'm taking the week off.
Yeah, I guess me and Marcus can do it. We can, for old time's sake, if Marcus feel like it. But it depends on if Marcus want to have how Marcus.
I'm taking the time off, man.
Oh, well then there's no show next Saturday. Then.
I just need a week. I'm going to probably just do ETE Wednesday and just not do anything.
Oh, damn, Manny, it already started.
I mean, Raw is Retro's coming out next week.
No, but you understand when he's in charge of something. ET is his baby. That's where all his interest is going into. He's just a member of the team.
It's not a start. It just started, and I don't want to be like, oh, we gotta stop.
Yeah, you can't let it fall to pieces.
I didn't want to bring this up.
We took a week off last week, and we were like, damn, because the numbers rose on the 1 week. It was short the first one, then it rose, and then we took a week off, and I'm like, damn.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming the Untitled Manny and Marcus shows go rise too, because Manny has decided not to provide the audio anymore.
It went lower this week. It was at like 60 last time.
So Wes said that he did miss the scissoring with the Acclaim. Once again, another segment that took place on Rampage that they will never explain to me.
You mean Dynamite?
Oh, that was Dynamite. When I watch them on the same day, I get confused which show happens on what. God damn it. But you're right. I just didn't care.
What other beats, Eric, in the Eric Minute would you like to touch on for the week of wrestling this week? Did you watch Raw?
Really,
nah, you
nothing really, man. No, it's nothing that really. The only thing that really stood out to me was Natty standing out and being MVP, and that triple threat match that started off NXT was one of the most fun matches that I've had in a long time because I really didn't know who was going to win, and I think Joe Gacy is the perfect opponent for Braun Breaker. I think it's like because he's like one of those guys that can take a loss. And
no, wait, Eric. I heard that you were talking about Nathan Frazier being your boy again, even though you watched him once.
Back.
You didn't watch him at all on NXT UK.
I didn't.
But what did you think? What did you think about that match? What did you think about that match? Because I think Waller could be something special.
So first of all, once again, Manny, as I realized, as I'm watching week in and week out of NXT, and we keep saying, damn, they just got Eric Boys on the show. Once again, this is just all my boys. Like, they were doing a show catering to me. I think Grayson Waller might be the best blue chip on their roster for the simple reason he has the size, he has the obnoxious, he's like a younger Miz. Nathan Frazier, he looks like a good old down home Australian boy. Like, ain't nothing wrong with Nathan.
He's not Australian.
He's from England.
Okay.
He's from England.
Aren't both him and Waller both trained by Seth Rollins though?
I didn't think Waller was. I thought only Frazier was.
Only
Okay.
Frazier.
But still, I mean, Wes says he's here if somebody wants to do a show next week. Nah, we're gonna take it out because I don't have access to the StreamYard. And I ain't gonna lie. I feel burnt out. It was a lot of wrestling this week. You know, when I'm in trial and when I have to actually really work at work, it makes all the outside work seem a lot harder.
I know there's part of me that wants to be like, yeah, I wish we could have some fill-in show and just be like Wes and somebody else. I just hit record and I take a nap and y'all text me when you're done.
Because I'll let you know, this Marcus being all emotional and need to have a get together is really putting a hitch in my weekend. I was like, shit.
Wow, thank you for wanting to be there, Eric. Thank you for wanting to be there.
I'm gonna be there, but I'm a tired man. I'm a tired man. But Marcus, I need to.
But your enthusiasm.
I'm acknowledging you, Marcus. Marcus, I'm acknowledging you for doing God's work, Marcus. This was a very nice thing for you to do. I'm really proud of you, sir.
God's work. Fuck you. You don't want to be there.
Allegedly, the Boo Boo Baron's going to show up. Marcus, I'm going to a barbecue spot. What can I really eat?
You the one who suggested it.
Because, Marcus, of how many people showed up on Mother's Day's weekend, man. You ain't going to find no better place than Lucille's.
Well, you saw that I lost the first. When I go into the original one.
The Long Beach House. We can talk about this after.
They were booked. They were booked. Those bastards were booked. They talk about we booked all day. I was like, check your books again, lady. There's no way you're booked. It's Wednesday where I'm booking this. All right, it's Wednesday, baby.
That's like when
you can't be booked already. No one goes to the sales and reservations. You lying, trifling bitch.
That's like when Shantae tried to call and get some reservations for a Mother's Day brunch, and the lady's like, nah, we ain't got nothing. She was like, well, we are taking walk-ins, but I can't tell you when you go get served. Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that listen to the show.
And, people with mothers, and baby mama
Future
drama.
Women's Faction, nobody's meaner than Tamina, Big Mama Cool, and Lash, the trash legend.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this, Wes. By the time Lash Legend gets caught up to the main roster, Tamina's gonna be retired.
No, Eric, as the dirt sheets leaked, WWE plans on releasing NXT wrestlers every 90 days. Does Lash Legend survive this crop of 90 days?
I think so. I think she has.
So. They sent it to NXT UK. I think so.
I think she has. Shout out Malcolm Bivens for that. No, I think she has enough untapped potential. I think it just takes some time to get it. I think 90 days are more for like the Harlans in the situations. Like, man, we can't do nothing with this dude. We gotta get rid of him. Like, we're not gonna pay this guy for this. The
one thing she's got going for her is she's got personality.
Yeah,
she's got character, and that's gonna work for her. I think the wrestling you can improve.
She's female Trick. That's what she is. Like, literally,
you know what I think it would be a better role for her if Sasha's a snake, and we all know she is, but a good bodyguard for Sasha Banks. A heel bodyguard.
It would be a great bodyguard.
Just the muscle. Because Sasha's a tiny woman.
Well, at some point.
And it would be nice to have her with some muscle around her.
Yeah, at some point, they've got to lose their tag team titles, and Sasha's going to go snake.
Yeah, Sasha's going to do Sasha. We already know that. Now, Manny, I have a question for you because I follow Lewis Hamilton on Instagram, and I saw his stance. What is this jury rule with F1? Like, why can't they wear?
You're asking the wrong person. I watch him go around the circuit, and that's it.
Okay. No, Marcus, you will be appreciative of what he did, Marcus, because he is trying to vie for the King of Petty, Marcus. So they banned jury for whatever reason. So he showed up at the press conference wearing 3 watches, like 4 gold chains, and like 5 different rings on his fingers. Like it's petty beyond belief. And I'll leave you guys with that note, a random F1 moment. Hope you
But
guys
F1
enjoyed.
don't like the drip. They don't like the bling. They don't like any of that.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast. Remember to email us at thesharpshooters@gmail.com. But don't email us next week because there will be no show next week because we're taking a sabbatical.
I mean,
on that
but
note,
I'm back after a week.
Manny will be here on Brawls Retro. I will be here on ETE. There will
The
be
best
a
of
best
is
of
out
show
on the best of is out on Tuesday.
You're not gonna miss
I'd strongly recommend watching that because it's the funniest. I would say it's the funniest 15 minutes. First 15 minutes.
Hey, you know what? And maybe for the audio listeners, maybe I'll talk to Marcus and get some negotiations. And maybe since we don't have cross networking platform, maybe he'll give me that ETE audio. That might be something good in the audio stream feed. You know, a little bit everything else. I'll talk to Marcus. I'll see if I can work that out.
Or how about you do something for the audio people that I thought was terrific that you decided to take away like a good father that decided to run out on their kids. I think you need to bring back to the little shots that you were doing.
Mark, let me tell you something. Mark, I can't shoot if there's nothing to shoot about.
There's tons of things to shoot about. Just call Lord Manny Hayes.
The one time I tried to arrange a shoot with Lord Manny Hayes, it didn't work out.
I'm sorry, I was drunk and you sent me a text that required me to scroll.
I understand. I
would love a drunk Manny to come on.
No.
Manny,
So Manny said, I'll be home around 10, and I waited. He's like, there's no way I could do it. And me being the producer who I am, I didn't want to be that motherfucker. Let me reach out to Marcus, who I know was available, because I had already offered the spot to Manny and give the spot to Marcus. And then so I just decided to do it on the show. You know.
Well, do you shoot? Why don't you offer it to Ross, you bigot?
Wow.
Oh, there you go. There's your answer. J.K. Smith said they state that the safety issues of wanting them to wear jumpsuits.
Oh. Damn, J.K. Smush. I didn't know you knew the answer. I'm impressed. Go Sounders.
He may have appeared on the WrestleMania Watch Along drunk. Doesn't mean doesn't know the answer to things.
Wait a minute. So
he was sober.
The Sounders.
Sober.
So, because he's supporting the Seattle Sounders, right? That was him that said that, right?
Yeah, the greatest MLS team ever.
Yeah, no, but LAFC is the best team in soccer. They have the best record.
Oh, we are? Yes.
Yeah, LAFC.
How quick I went to we?
Yeah, Mark, I know who you are. And Marcus, if I would easily say, Mark, if I would have said Galaxy had the best record, guess what you would say? We do?
We?
Mark, it's like when in hockey. With the Kings, with the Golden Knights, with the Ducks, and even with the Sharks. We doing great things this year.
No, I don't fuck with the Sharks, but I might.
Mark, you fuck with the Sharks when everybody else is go, Mark. It's your last option.
Did the Kings win? Or are they down?
Mark, I don't know.
Where are the Kings at? How they doing?
Anyway, that concludes the show. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Until next time, I'm Eric.
I'm Lord Manny Hayes.
Hold on. I just feel like that's a perfect comment for this race. I wish I wasn't so lazy and I did this earlier in the week. No. Toodaloo, guys. Toodaloo.